Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this evening, porter arrested after cops seized ganja following incident in Kingston. The Denham Town Police have charged 48-year-old Marlon Thomas, a porter of Cherry Gardens, Kitson, St. Catherine, with a possession of ganja and dealing in ganja following an incident along Princess Street, Kingston CSO on Tuesday, October 22. Reports from lawmen are that at about 11 a.m., Thomas was walking along Princess Street when he was seen by a patrol team with a bag in his hand. On seeing the lawmen, Thomas started acting in a manner that aroused their suspicion. The police called out to him and he dropped the bag and attempted to escape. The lawmen retrieved the bag and they discovered that it contained vegetable matter resembling ganja. The weight of the matter has not been ascertained. The accused was subsequently charged after a question and answer session. A court date for him is being finalized. Threats of reprisal for Rockfort 5 caused the police to shut down much of East Kingston. With increasing speculations on the streets about possible deadly reprisals for the 5 men fatally shot in Rockfort, East Kingston on Monday, a state of public emergency was declared in the area, which covers several nearby communities where friends and the foes of the dead men are believed to be gathering. The SOE covers Pleasant Heights, formerly known as Warwick Hills, and the nearby inner-city communities, including Jarrett and the Saunders Lanes, McGregor Gully, Bush, sections of Bull Bay and the Jacques Road. Everybody knows that the shooters are still in East Kingston, even if they are not in Rockfort, and the man friends them are determined to avenge the killings, said one news source. The man them were really heavy in the area and them killing can't go so. It painful that Mendes could stay a foreigner and make him money. And him come back in him hometown and a push piece and them kill him. That can't go so, added the source. He was referring to one of the 5 victims, 51-year-old Artavia Mendes Austin, who was long identified as the man who should run Rockfort but abandoned the role when he migrated. Austin recently returned to the island and staged several peace events in Rockfort designed to bring once warring factions together. The other victims were identified as Austin's son, 29-year-old Okiro Austin, O'Dane Bones Josephs, who was believed to be the Don for one of the most heavily armed areas in Rockfort, Rosrick Tenniel Thomas, and another man whose identity the police had still not released up to late Friday. 2 people were also injured in that attack. The police requested an SOE in major swaths of the Kingston Eastern Police Division based on what a release from the Office of the Prime Minister said was a thorough assessment by the security forces, which indicated that the elevated levels of violent criminal activity within the designated areas were of such a severity and a scale that they pose a significant threat to public safety. Commenting on the declaration of the SOE, Prime Minister Andrew Holness said, Monday night's murders in Rockfort have shocked the nation. We have taken decisive steps to safeguard the lives of our citizens and to prevent further acts of organized violence. The government, in close coordination with the security forces, is committed to taking the urgent steps to restore order and ensure the safety of the affected residents. The release added that the government and the security forces will continue to take all necessary actions to protect the safety of residents and restore normality in East Kingston. That position was underscored by Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister of National Security, Dr. Horace Chang, who the release quoted as saying, "The safety and the security of our citizens is our top priority. This act of terror in Rockfort is a grave threat to the peace of our nation, and we will not allow criminal elements to destabilize our communities. The security forces have been fully mobilized, and we will use all available resources to bring the perpetrators to justice and restore calm." 39-year-old charged after house fire claims the life of 65-year-old woman. A 39-year-old construction worker has been charged in connection with a house fire which claimed the life of a 65-year-old woman in Richmond, St. Mary on September 3. Charged is Omar Malcolm of Louisburg District, St. Mary. The deceased has been identified as Desiree Malcolm of Cane Heap, Richmond. Reports from the Richmond police are that at about 9:30 a.m., residents saw the house on fire and made an alert. The fire department was brought in to extinguish the blaze. Following cooling down operations, the elderly woman's charred remains were discovered among the debris. The scene was processed and the body was removed to the morgue for post-mortem. On Monday, October 14, 2024, Malcolm was arrested and taken into custody. He was subsequently charged on Wednesday, October 23, after a question and answer session in the presence of his attorney. His court date is being finalized. 17 arrested, 22 guns seized in move against the gun smuggling at ports. 17 persons have been arrested in a series of operations led by the Police Firearms and Narcotics Investigation Division and the Jamaica Customs Agency to curb gun smuggling through Jamaica's ports. Between July 1 and October 12, 2024, the joint team seized 22 firearms, including 2 rifles and 20 pistols, and intercepted 1,274 rounds of assorted ammunition, a police statement said Saturday. Of those arrested, 8 have been charged with offenses ranging from trafficking in prohibited weapon to possession of a prohibited weapon, and their cases have been brought before the courts. These recent seizures and arrests demonstrated the resolve of FNID to remain focused and resolute in its approach to detecting, deterring, disrupting, and ultimately dismantling criminal networks involved in smuggling firearms into Jamaica, the police said. The agency pledged to continue working with local, regional, and international partners to bring offenders to justice and to prevent further trafficking into the country. Health Minister accused of downplaying crisis at Bustamante Hospital for Children. The parliamentary opposition says that there is a major crisis at the Bustamante Hospital for Children and is accusing the Health Minister, Dr. Christopher Tufton, of seeking to downplay the situation. The Health Minister was forced to call a press briefing on Thursday following claims that life-saving surgeries were being delayed due to problems with the air conditioning unit in the operating theater. Dr. Tufton emphasized the need for better maintenance of the equipment at hospitals to alleviate the issue. But speaking with members of the media on Thursday evening, opposition spokesman on health, Dr. Alfred Dawes, accused the minister of minimizing the extent of the crisis at the Children's Hospital.
And I say it's a performance in crisis management because all that came out of it was a very deliberate attempt to kill the story by trying to say that the little girl is going to get her surgery done. A lot of blame shifting as to why we got here, and that's the end of it. But there are deep-rooted issues at the Bustamante Hospital that need to be addressed because it's not just one person who will be facilitated at the University Hospital who has been affected. There are many children out there who are suffering because of the dilapidated state of the operating theater. And until we address those issues, we're going to continue to see cases like this popping up from time to time. But then when you look specifically at the hospitals, we do not have a proper preventative maintenance program. So do not listen to the sweet talk about equipment being bought and how much money is being spent. For one, we are overpaying for a lot of these equipment. And I'll say it quite frankly, there are a lot of hustlers out there who just buy cheap equipment from China, sell it to the Ministry of Health, and then they're deployed in hospitals. They do not know anything at all about maintaining these equipment. You cannot get the parts for them, and because they're just hustlers, they don't have an organized an arrangement with the manufacturers to service these equipment. So naturally, the equipment are going to go down.
Thank you everyone for watching. See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for another news update.